Yeah,
So
it was that way once before.
right,
When I
so
was minister at headquarters, my assistant minister was a brother.
you're right. So I didn't want the audience to think that sisters always got to take a back seat. You know, that title assistant minister might be misleading because it could be either be two brothers, could be two sisters, could be a brother and a sister, or vice versa. You know,
Yes,
like
sir.
so it's we're not discriminating. It's just
Yes. Well, what Minister Mustafa has done, and I so appreciate his consistency, is gone back to the basic structure that the Honorable Silas Muhammad instituted when he first resurrected the Nation of Islam. And clearly it was in his mind freedom, justice, and equality. Because at that time, the mosque was to be structured whereby each department would have at its head a male and a female. And so with the minister's department, it would be male and female. If the female was the head minister, then you have a male assistant minister. There is no priority given to brother over sister. As well, the secretary's department, we have one male and one female. And it also, I believe, generates balance because surely male and female balance each other out. There are certain areas in which men or males are instinctively good at, and there are certain areas that females or women are instinctively good at. And so when we bring the two together, we balance each other out perfectly and complete one another, and we're whole together. And so those matters where the minister may be, those matters he may tend to that are spiritual, and he's comfortable inside of that moment, he can handle that and be within side of his character, be within side of his ability. And those matters that I may handle, I do handle spiritual matters, but with regards to administration, with regards to practical things, I that's natural for me. It's what I do. And so as a team, we balance each other out perfectly. And I find it quite commendable of Minister Mustafa to not only go back and institute the very basic structure that the Honorable Silas Muhammad gave back in 1977, 78, not taking for granted any information that Mr. Muhammad gave, but also realizing at the same time the wisdom inside of knowing, acknowledging, and accepting the balance that is created when you pair men and women together, especially with regards to structure, something that has a defined structure like a mosque or like a family or a business. It works well when the two are paired together. That's the way it was designed to be by nature. Minister Mustafa is balanced and very fair-minded. I recall him asking me to be in this post as his assistant minister and announcing to the believers, this is Minister Samadia Shabazz. I want you to call her Minister Samadia. And he is very humble. He's a humble brother. And in his conduct and in the example he is setting, he's teaching not only the believers but the guests who come that women we don't have to walk or stand 10 steps behind the man. That our opinions are valued and count. And we have something to say that's worth listening to.
Yes, ma'am. All right, Minister, we're running out of time. I'd like to thank you for being on our show today, being a special guest.
Thank you for having me.
I enjoyed you having. I believe you had important, enlightening information for the audience. And as a reminder, I would like to tell the audience that we have a virtual mosque meeting. We had our first virtual mosque meeting on this last Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
and it was a success. It was you opened up for Minister Mustafa
Yes, sir.
as the assistant minister, and then Minister Mustafa came on. We're going to hold this every second Wednesday
Yes.
every month.
Yes.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
Would you like to have any parting comments?
Well, only that the Lost Foundation of Islam is the foundation for heaven, and the balance, the freedom, the truth, the righteousness, the fairness, the equality is beautiful. And it is something that I would love to see all my brothers and sisters experience. And I really invite you to come out to Muhammad's Mosque. Minister Mustafa Salim is a very dynamic minister. He is well learned, knows the scriptures well, and is particularly gifted at delivering a message on a level that can easily be understood. Muhammad's Mosque is home. It's warm. It's a place where our brothers and sisters are always invited. We're located at 3407 Covington Drive in Decatur. And please come out and visit. We're there every Sunday at 2 o'clock p.m. and on Fridays as well at 8 o'clock p.m. And then we'll be meeting here with a virtual meeting along with Minister Mustafa the second Wednesday of each month.
Again, that's 3407 Covington Drive,
Yes.
Decatur, Georgia. And
Yes.
the meeting time is every Friday night at 8 p.m.
Yes, sir.
and every Sunday at 2 p.m.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Minister.
You're welcome.
As-Salaam-Alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, sir.
I would like to cover a few points, and then we're going to play an interview that I did with Minister Ishmael R. Muhammad, the national assistant of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Just briefly, I wanted to, as you know, in the current news, there's wildfires in Texas. 252 counties of 254 counties that I last checked is on fire. Now, we were told by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad that Master Farah Muhammad would destroy America, and he would use certain means. He even wrote a book called The Fall of America. So I just wanted to briefly check with the book. This was written in, I believe, in 1973, the copyright, yes. And the messages spoke about this was happening. And this particular thing I want to point out. So I'm going to read. The Holy Quran, also, I'm in page 158 of The Fall of America by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. The Holy Quran also teaches us that God used snow, rain, wind, hail, earthquakes, and fire against former wicked people. Is America any better than the people we read about in the history that God destroyed? No, she is not as good. These people were not as wicked as the American people. And on page 167, it reads, when the cities are set on fire, this is a sign of the end of you as a power, America. So when you see the heartland of your farmland like Texas burning like this, know that it is from Master Farah Muhammad, and he's bringing you to naught, because you will not give human rights to Afro-descendants. As far as human rights are concerned, I found this today in the news. It was actually a post that a brother put on Facebook. And the reason it caught my attention, because this is called Human Rights Record of the United States in 2010. And basically this is from the ChinaDaily.com. It's a Chinese newspaper. And they basically saying that America has no right to talk about any other country's human rights when her human rights are messed up. And this has a whole bunch of sections. This has section on life, property, and personal security. It's basically saying America is one of the most dangerous countries on earth where people lose their life and property. It goes through a whole bunch of statistics. I'm not even going to read it on here because we don't have the time. But I just wanted to show you that other countries are aware of us Afrodescendants. So don't think just because CNN and Fox News do not report this that it's not addressed. China, for example, is a member state in the United Nations. She knows about what's going on over here. And what caught my eye, as you know, we use the term Afrodescendants, which describes black people in America who are descendants of slaves in North America, South America, Central America, the Caribbean islands, the descendants of over 400 years of slavery from the Portuguese, the Spanish, the American white people. Here in the section 4 on racial discrimination, it says, according to a report of the Working Group of Experts on People of African Descent to the Human Rights Council of the United Nations in August 2010, unemployment was a very serious issue for the Afro-descendant community in the United States, with levels of unemployment being proportionally 4 times higher among this population than in the white community. This is China. China is using the term Afro-descendants because it is a recognized term that describes 250 million black people in the Western Hemisphere. Black people, you have to stop using the term African American, because when you use the term African American, you're considered a minority subsumed inside of the representative democracy of America, which is a republic. The majority is white and always will be so long as there's in America. But when you reattach yourself as an Afro-descendant, then you're attaching yourself to 250 million strong, a nation that is recognized in the United Nations, with people like China who have an eye on America and are calling out her on her hypocrisy. Onto some business. As you know, we have an annual holiday coming up. It's called Black Holocaust Remembrance Day. And I'm just going to read, this is a flyer from the Minister Najee Muhammad from Washington, D.C. Sunday, May 1st, 2011, 1 p.m., all roads lead to, and this is the address, 3309 Bunker, Bunker Hill Road, Mount Rainier, Maryland, is on the borderline of Washington, D.C. We will be observing Black Holocaust Remembrance Day. What this does is we're commemorating the 400 years of slavery that our people have suffered, the atrocities, the over 100 million lives lost in the transatlantic slave trade. If the Jews can make the whole world acknowledge their Holocaust in Germany, that only 6 million of them died. I mean, any loss of life is bad and sad. But over 100 million of our people just in the Atlantic Passage alone, there's no comparison. So our people not only have to be acknowledged, but we're fighting for reparations and human rights. And this is a constant reminder that we will never forgive and never forget, and we will continue fighting for our human rights, even if all of us have to die for it. I mean, we will never stop until we get our human rights. So, again, the address is 3309 Bunker Hill Road, Mount Rainier, Maryland. Come out May 1st, 2011, this Washington, D.C., or the borderline of Washington, D.C. And one final note, as you know, we have a big event coming up. The new Black Panther Party is our ally. And Chairman Malik Zulu Shabazz, he's been, even though they kind of inspired this event, but it's not exclusively for the new Black Panther Party. It's for every black conscious organization, grassroots organization. If you're an individual, if you got a few drops of black blood in you, if you consider yourself a Jew, a Buddhist, as long as you're an Afro-descendant, this is your event. On April 23rd, it's an event of unity. There will be lectures, talks in various cities, over 60 cities across America and also worldwide. But I'm going to give you I would like to invite you to the event here in Atlanta. I'm going to have to check on my iPhone for that, on the flyer, because I don't have the flyer in front of me, and I don't recall the exact address. So bear with me a little. Okay. Here we go. All right. Shabazz. Technology nowadays, you just go have leaflets on your thing. Can't seem to find it. But let's see. Try one more time. Here it is. I guess the first time it didn't show up. A 3G network. Okay. The Mama Njeri House, and that's Njeri spelled Njeri. The Mama Njeri House is located at 1184 Eggleston Street. Eggleston is spelled Eggleston Street, Southwest, Atlanta, Georgia. The rally and the vending and the speeches will be held from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. It's an ongoing event. And again, the address is 1184 Eggleston Street, Eggleston. We are doing a joint venture with Minister Mustafa Salim, will be representing for the Lost Foundation of Islam, and the local chairman is Lenny Black. He's the local Atlanta chairman for the New Black Panther Party, and his number is 678-357-7728. That's 678-357-7728. Call if you want vending, you want to find out further information. Contact Chairman Lenny Black of the New Black Panther Party. Right now, we would like to move on to our interview that we did with Ishmael R. Muhammad, the National Assistant to Minister Farrakhan. It'll continue from where we left off last time. As-Salaam-Alaikum.
That made it possible for him to be in the world, the man who built so much over a 44-year period. But I later grew and matured more in understanding his purpose, understanding the role that he had to play, which whether we as students of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad want to accept it or not, Imam Wallahuddin Muhammad's role was absolutely necessary in this mission of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and it was the Honorable Elijah Muhammad who facilitated the way and accommodated his son, the Imam, to be in a position to succeed him. All of these things were arranged by the father of the house. So when you look at it and study it from that perspective, then it lessens your judgment of the man who has a very specific role and a very specific function to play. And since none of us have a comprehensive knowledge of the mission of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, then it lends to each of us the tendency to judge individuals, you see, based upon our limited understanding of the mission of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Everyone knew in the Nation of Islam that the Imam and his very name was given by Master Farad Muhammad himself. And it was Master Farad Muhammad who wrote his name and gave that young man or boy or baby his own name, and then sent special instructions to Mother Clara Muhammad, his mother, to take special care of him. And he said he will be one of the good ones. Now, if Master Farad Muhammad gave those kinds of instructions to his parents, then Master Farad Muhammad knew in 1933 what that young man or boy was to accomplish down the road in this work of the resurrection. So, and of course, Minister Farrakhan has helped me and so many others to put Imam Wallahuddin Muhammad, the fall of the Nation of Islam, everything in a proper perspective, So we are not as emotional today as we were during that turbulent period. So I thank the minister for helping so many of us to put a proper perspective